Rachelsey at the movies, yay!
We saw a new movie, but in our home because of HBO Max. We saw The Little Things starring Denzel Washington and Rami Malek. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. I'll learn it because you're awesome. I really liked you in this movie. But before we get to that, The Little Things is about, it's kind of like a fictionalized crime drama, right? Like Denzel plays a cop, Rami plays a cop, and they're trying to find what could be a serial killer. And it kind of unfolds from there. Suspenseful, there's some mystery, but it also has like a kind of morality to it, dealing with all the different characters in the movie. Kelsey, go wait or skip.
I'm going to say wait to see this movie. I enjoyed this movie. There wasn't anything groundbreaking in this movie. I thought this movie was going to go one direction from the beginning, and it did not. I found it entertaining. I found it interesting, but ultimately, I don't really think this movie broke any new ground in this genre. I don't think it's the kind of movie where like you have to rush out to see it at the movie theater. You can watch it on HBO Max, which I guess is technically waiting. If you already have HBO Max. So I would say just wait to see this movie.
I'm also going to say wait for a little bit of different reasons. I did think this was a really good movie. I thought it was thought-provoking. I still kind of thought about it a little bit later. But it's not a movie you can just like put on. You know, it's not for the whole family. I think you got to be in a certain kind of mood. It's thoughtful. It's going to be, I found it a little frustrating at times, to be honest. Like in the beginning, I was like, what is going on? Like I think I paused it twice to be like, did I miss something, Kelsey? So it's kind of taking you along, and I was a little like, I wanted to know sooner than the movie maker wanted to tell me. So even though I did think it was a good movie, I thought it was thought-provoking, you got to be in a certain kind of mood. So I'm going to say wait. Wait till you're in the right kind of mood to see this kind of movie. Spoilers. I thought as the movie, when it got to the end, I went, oh, I mean, the end. The movie was over, and I was like, Denzel's the bad guy. But then I was like, so I went and Googled it. Like, I Googled, like, the movie, and there was a scene about the boots. Well, no, I was wrong. Okay?
Well, here, that's one of the major problems, I feel like, in the movie, is that you better be studying it very closely. You better have brought what's that, the last movie we watched that we couldn't understand?
Oh, Tenet?
You better have brought your Tenet mind to this movie, because you better be paying attention, or they're not going to explicitly put things out there for you.
Yeah,
if you miss it, and maybe you don't have to understand and have to Google it.
Yeah, but here's why I thought it was thought-provoking. I thought this movie, because really it was less about the serial killer, and it was more about these two cops and living the life of a cop, how that affects you personally, your family, how it is to live like that. And then when you do something, the idea of right and wrong, and that sometimes when you're in the moment, things don't feel so black and white, and maybe people make some decisions that in the moment they're like, this is the right thing to do, but then later, like, was it the right thing to do? And so you had this with these cops, and at the end, because Denzel's character doesn't, in my opinion, isn't doing the right thing per se, it kind of made me at the end be like, well, isn't somebody in here supposed to be like the hero and do the right thing even though it's super hard? But nobody did that, Yeah. And so it kind of like stuck with me in a way that made me feel kind of like, well, I didn't like that. Like I wanted somebody to spoon feed me the hard hero journey.
But nobody wanted to be the hard hero. They wanted to be the
in this way, it was
codependent hero.
It was
like,
more.
I'll take care of his feelings.
Yeah, it was more like real life. This is sometimes how things unfold in real life, and then I felt like it turned it back around on me. How do you feel about that, movie watcher? Like, how is that? Like, how do you feel? And that I had to kind of sit with that.
Yeah, and then as far as performances go, this isn't in the best of Denzel performances, but maybe because you love Denzel and wanted him to be super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
He wasn't, like, his character wasn't that in this movie, but...
I'm like, why isn't he super cool and awesome like Denzel is in most movies?
Rami Malek, I, loved his portrayal of his character. He has this really interesting face. I loved, his, just strong, jawline and his eyes and just how he portrayed this character. I felt like I could just get lost in that. I also thought Jared Leto played a character in this movie, and I really liked what he did with it.
Oh, I didn't even realize it. He did such a good job that I didn't even realize it was Jared Leto until you said it just now. Yeah, and it was an interesting, thought-provoking movie that I think I was really glad I got to see or whatever. I'm glad that it was on HBO Max, but it wasn't Seven or, there's some movies that you've watched that are similar.
That old movie with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember that movie.
Oh, I do. You don't remember the end of that movie?
No.
There's some movies you watch that stay with you forever, and you're like, whoa, Anyway, there's other movies out there that are like this type of genre that you're like, whoa. And you never forget this movie. But this was not that.
It wasn't woe to me, but it did stick with me. I can even feel how it makes me feel right now. So maybe for me, it was just a little bit more of that. Side note, I did, at home, have a hard time understanding the characters, so I was actually kind of happy that we watched it at home because I put on the subtitles, and I found that really helpful for me, especially since this movie you needed to kind of be tuned in and, can't know half of what's going on, which was what was going to be the case if I didn't have subtitles. So just side note on that. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Rachelsey at the Movies, and we'll see you again maybe sometime.
Probably.